What's up, my beautiful people? Once again, welcome to CEO Weekly TV, and of course, we're number one online TV show in Dubai. Today is a very beautiful day. I have a very big guest, man.
Well, we are the UAE's number one hit music station. Hey, I want to take your song request right now. Hit me up on that WhatsApp number 048715544. You can also call me on that same number. Let me play your track. Let me make your day. Let me put a smile on your face. All right, hit me up.
One and only Eddie, the only African who is working on radio in Dubai. Man, it's gonna be interesting, man. You guys love this. So join me and let's have a conversation. Karibu Eddie.
Bro,
yeah.
Thanks for the intro. It's a big intro,
Yeah,
man.
big intro.
Very big intro, man.
You're a big man, man.
Oh no, I'm just a normal man. I'm just a normal guy.
Man, it has taken me so long to reach you out. You are super busy, bro.
Yeah, you know when work flows, when it rains, you gotta be ready. Yeah, so like I'm glad that it's finally happened, and I know it's been a while that we've been back and forth and trying to get together, but I'm glad it's happened. But yeah, like you gotta keep busy, man. You know how Dubai is.
Yes,
you gotta keep busy.
But I love the way that you're committed with your work and how super busy you are. And they say good things take time.
Yes, sir.
Now these are good things.
And first of all, big up to you as well with your channel, doing big things, representing for all the Kenyans, representing the motherland. So big up to you as well, man. Yeah, Mr. CEO with Cliff.
A big name right there.
Yes, sir.
Eddie, there are many people who are wondering, man, who is Eddie, man?
Eddie's a normal boy, born and bred, brought up in Nairobi, grew up in Nairobi, studied in Nairobi, studied in Mombasa, and then I moved to the UAE back in 2002 to seek for greener pastures, as they say. Yeah, so Eddie's like just a humble guy, a family guy, a proud Kenyan. Yeah.
So from Mombasa to Dubai.
Yeah.
Tell us, when probably did you come to Dubai?
So I moved to Dubai back in 2002. It was all by chance. So back in the day, I was working in Nairobi. I used to work for an internet cafe, and just by chance, I decided, no, a cousin of mine told me, hey, why don't you come to Dubai? Let's see like what you can find for yourself here. So I moved to Dubai in 2002, and ended up landing a job in shipping and logistics, and that's how my life in Dubai started. That was back in 2002. Yeah.
Okay. Man, it's gonna be a very lit conversation, man.
Yeah.
So before you moving to Dubai, you say you are working in a cafe, and now you're working in one of the biggest, actually it's the biggest radio in Dubai, as a main presenter in a main episode, man. I mean, do you ever even think of you reaching up to this level, man?
No. If someone had told me, because now it's been since I moved here, probably around 21 years, if someone had told me back then that, you know what, one day, we're kijana Mkenya,
Yes.
you just moved to Dubai, you're going to be a presenter on one of the biggest stations, not only in the country, but in the region, in the Gulf region, I would have told him, hey, get out of town, you know? Get out of here. Yeah, so the fact that it's happened and I find myself here, I can say it's a blessing. It's a blessing, it's hard work, and like they say, hard work pays off. Yeah, so I feel blessed. I feel blessed. Yeah.
Yes. So let's just take you way back in Mombasa. I mean, where did you school? Where did you stay down in Mombasa? At least people want to know your roots, bro.
Okay. So I actually grew up in Nairobi. Grew up in Nairobi. Schooling, I went to so many schools, man. Yeah. So I remember I started off at All Saints Cathedral. Then I went to Moy Avenue Primary. Then I went to Aga Khan Primary, and then finished in Aga Khan, and then so high school I went to Sheikh Khalifa bin Zayed in Mombasa. Yeah, and then moved back to Nairobi, and I was in Pindoli Academy. So I graduated from Pindoli Academy. And then after that, just went into the world of working. Yeah, because obviously I didn't get a chance. Unfortunately, I had good grades, but unfortunately I didn't get a chance to like move on to get a university degree. And so, because my old man Mzee alisema, you know what, you have your brothers are coming up, and it's going to be a burden on me to like look after you, like to pay for you, all of you to pay university fees. So he just basically told me like, you know what, you're on your own man right now. Go and find for yourself. And yeah, so that's how I ended up trying to find a job, getting myself into the internet cafe working. And that also wasn't actually a job per se when I started. That actually started in a funny way, because I found myself just sitting at home.
You're sitting at home?
Yeah.
All right.
I don't have a job. I don't have uni, no college, because obviously we couldn't afford it at that time. So it's like, okay, what do I do? So instead of killing time at home, I had a couple of friends of mine who used to work at the site at the internet cafe, hapo Kenyatta Avenue at the corner.
That's Nairobi now.
Nairobi, yeah. At the corner hapo kuna nyumba moja, I forgot the name, kubwa hivi, Kenyatta Avenue at the corner. So they used to work there at Nomad Cyber Cafe. So every day I made it a point for coming from home, going to town, and I would just sit there. I would just literally just sit in the Cyber Cafe,
Cafe, and watch what they're doing.
Watch what they're doing, yeah. Let's watch what they're doing and just sit there and just just observe.
So by just checking on what they're doing, they loved, what you were supporting them through, or?
No, they saw that they actually needed like extra hands. So, and they thought like, hey, you're just sitting around, hey, why don't you help us out with this thing? And I was like, yeah, sure, you know what, like, why not? And that's how I actually got started. So it was like, I would like help them out with, typing, and then they taught me how to do other things, like how to troubleshoot computers, how to network computers, and literally from coming from a background that I didn't know how to use computers to like learning how to use on-the-job training. That was like, I felt like this is amazing. Yeah, I just felt blessed. Yeah, and yeah.
So they started paying you monthly? Yeah?
No, it was actually I wasn't earning a salary at the beginning. Yeah, it was just like, hey, chukua pesa ya lunch. Fair. That's how it started, literally. Hii pesa ya lunch, yani itakusaidia. And I was like, mimi ndashukuru. It was like, dude, I'm getting something out of it. Yeah, like at least instead of like kukaa nyumbani to just passing time, I'm coming here, I'm helping these guys out, and at the same time, like, I'm getting some change, yani at least inanisaidia, yani kula lunch, kwenda nyumbani, coming back, and that's how we started. And then it came to a point like, okay, where they're like, okay, you know what, you're actually performing, wacha tupatie at least mshahara, yani. So end of month I also get something small, and inanisaidia. Yeah.
So from there, just a mere Cyber Cafe in Moya Avenue. How did the idea of you coming to Dubai kick in?
So what happened was, when I was working at the Cyber Cafe, like I took a month off because I went on holiday. I went to see my
to Shags.
To Shags, to go. So I took a month off. But when I came back, I found out that the Cyber Cafe was closing. They were shutting down, and by luck, as luck would have it, a relative of my boss then, he called me up out of the blue one day. He's like, yo, so I'm opening another Cyber Cafe in Isli. What are you doing? I was like, I'm doing nothing. He's like, can you come and help me set up the Cyber Cafe? I'm like, yeah, cool. So here I was, like a guy who had no background in computers whatsoever, or doing anything. Went up to Isli, helped the guy set up. I personally, single-handedly, set up the entire Cyber Cafe. I did the networking, the wires, setting up the computers, troubleshooting, setting up the internet and everything. I did that all on my own, and helped kickstart the running of the Cyber Cafe.
Powerful.
All on my own. Yeah, and I was like, that was crazy.
Can be done.
Yeah, it was crazy. Like, who would have thought? Like, this is what I would have done, Yeah, so I ended up working there in Isli for, I think, I want to say probably about 6 months before I got a message from my cousin who was raised in Dubai. And she was like, hey, why don't you come over and try your luck? Yeah, ujaribu luck yako, si huko Dubai.
That's why we tell people just come and try your luck over here.
Exactly, because you never know. Yeah, and if it works out, it works out. If it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out.
You go back to your country.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So then I moved. Then as that was 2002. That's when I flew down, and it wasn't easy. And you know, like when people like tell you like, oh, kuja Dubai, utapata kazi nini, it's never easy.
You have to, you know, it's like our country. I mean, you have to get back to the grind. You have to get back to the CV and get back to the street.
Yeah, you have to go back to the streets. As they say, you have to tarmac. So you need to tarmac as well. Yeah, with the heat and everything.
Yes.
And that's what I did. So and like as luck would have it, I ended up at this shipping company.
Shipping company. You started with a shipping company.
Yeah, I started with a shipping company, the shipping and logistics. And they, when they hired me, I started off as a clerk. Office
A clerk in shipping company.
Yeah.
Location probably in Dubai.
He was in Dubai.
In Dubai.
Yeah, in Indera. Indera. Yes, Indera, doing shipping, and it was just like I was just literally started like answering phone calls, replying to emails. That's how I started off.
Yes.
Yeah, that was my first job.
Very interesting. You started as a clerk in a shipping company in Dubai. How long did you probably stay there, and how was it, yani, the experience out there in shipping company?
The experience was amazing. Like I learned, because this was like a brand new industry I was getting into. I had no experience or no background of working in a shipping company, a logistics company, freight forwarding. But I think whatever they saw in me ended up me getting promoted. So I started off as like I said, like a clerk. And I did that for like probably a month. And I got a promotion after a month into operations officer in the shipping company. And to cut the long story short, by the time I left the company, I worked for that company for 10 years.
10 years in a shipping company in Dubai.
Yeah. And by the time I left the company as an operations manager.
Operations manager. Starting as a clerk,
Yeah.
which means you really put in work, determination, until they saw, your efforts.
Yeah.
All right, 10 years down the line. Now you can learn something out of it. You have to put your effort. You have to grow from somewhere until you reach where you want. So now you're an operation manager after 10 years.
Yeah. So 10 years operations manager, but then at the same time I had this passion. Like when you're growing up, you have a passion. Like, oh, I want to be a doctor. I want to be a lawyer. I want to be an. So the two things, or let me say the three things that I always wanted to do. One was I wanted to be a pilot.
You want to be a pilot?
I wanted to be a lawyer,
A lawyer?
and I wanted to do something in journalism.
Journalism.
I wanted to be a journalist.
Yes.
And obviously, the pilot, there was no future, and there was no.
You didn't see yourself from a shipping company.
Yeah, I could not see it happening back then.
Yeah, but it was some passion.
There was something in me, like an interest in that. Lawyer, I was like, yeah, I'm interested in it, but how do I go about it? I don't know. Journalism as well, same thing. I was like, I want to get into it. So when I moved here, actually, I said, okay, I'm going to work, at least get some money, and join
School. And do journalism.
Here. So I applied for a uni here, Middlesex University, and I actually got accepted.
Because journalism is so wide.
Yeah.
Which particular journalism were you interested in, and which one you applied for?
At that time, I didn't have a specific angle of what I just like journalism as a whole, because journalism is huge. And there's so many ways you can go about it. Yeah, there's radio journalism, there's TV journalism. But for me, I was just like, I just want to do something in journalism. Yeah. But at the same time, I had at the back of my head, I had this passion of either doing something in TV or radio. Yeah. So anyway, I got the calling letter, but unfortunately, when I saw the fee structure, I realized there was no way I could afford it.
Crazy.
Because the fee was, is it 60K?
60K dirhams.
And my salary...
And back then that was a
2002.
2003. 2003.
Yeah.
It's way much money about
That's a lot of money. It's a lot of money. It's not, on an average day, you will not see that kind of money. Yeah. And my salary at the time, I think it was around, I want to say 2,000 dirhams. So how do I afford to pay
Oh, so
there was no way. So I just felt like, you know what, my dream had just disappeared.
yes.
So I was like, you know what, I better put my whole focus in the shipping company and just being like solid in that of shipping and logistics and freight forwarding, and that's how I put myself into that. And I want to say on the ninth year, something happened, which would like alter the path of my life.
It's gonna change like the whole situation. Guys, if you're new here, kindly subscribe, hit the notification bell and share because we are going to the climax, man. Now you're learning something. We have to get from somewhere to somewhere. 10 years as from a clerk to now an operation manager, and now your dreams was they seem to be so much difficult to achieve, but now something is happening over here. Yes.
So I was average day driving to work, and I was listening to my favorite radio station, which was Virgin Radio at the time.
Virgin Radio.
Yeah.
Was your favorite 10 years then?
Yeah, that was 10 years ago, 2010 that was.
Yes.
And I heard the breakfast show presenter, Chris Fade.
Chris Fade.
He is the biggest
Radio. Shout out to Chris Fade, man. We have so much fans out here.
Yeah. So on his show, and they decided they were looking for the talent search competition, looking for someone to do Hollywood reports, the Hollywood stories, like normal reports. And me driving in my car, and I was like, hey, what's the worst that would happen if I entered this competition? I was
As a Hollywood representative.
yeah.
I mean, after all, is what I've been dreaming to do.
Yeah, like, but I didn't think that much. I didn't think that far at the time. I just thought, you know what, let me do it for fun.
Yes.
Let me put my hat in the ring.
What was gonna happen?
What's the worst that could happen? The worst that would happen is like I don't end up winning the competition.
We don't like you.
We don't like you, but hey, who knows me?
Try,
I've tried, and at the same time, I don't want to live in the.
I didn't try.
Yeah,
I didn't try. Something which I had passionate about.
Exactly, and the mentality of like, what if? Because that's
right.
Yeah, like, because if you live in that mentality of what if, that's gonna like chew you up inside. You know, you end up regretting like, maybe if I had tried something.
And if you see someone has really gotten that title which you wanted to compete, man, it will eat you up.
Yeah, obviously, because like you're like, you know what if I tried afterwards, and like maybe something would have come out of it. Maybe something would not have come out of it. So anyway, I put my hat in the ring, entered the competition, and what do you know, like.
How was it? I mean, you applied. We just want to know how the process was. And
well, so it was basically what they wanted was at that time was they wanted someone to give them updates on entertainment stories.
yes.
So like what's happening in Hollywood, what's happening in Bollywood, that kind of thing. So what they asked me is like, okay, we're gonna call you up, you're gonna audition, submit like a maybe was it like a 60-second report on what's happening around the entertainment world. And that's what they did. So they gave me a call over the phone. I did the thing, and they're like, all right, cool. So I ended up going up against other contestants in the competition.
So probably how many contestants together?
Because they did it over a span of a week, so I want to say it was like probably around 5 contestants altogether in total. And then every week after that, they would go down, like narrowing it down. So like we were 5, they narrowed it down to 4, 3, and then we ended up the 2 of us. There was me and then the guy called Joel. We went up against each other, and I ended up winning the competition.
Alhamdulillah. It is good. So now you've gone. It took you how long to get the competition? I mean, when you were with these contestants, how long did it take for you to get to them? 2
or 3 weeks. So I ended up winning the competition, and right after that, that was in, I want to say November of 2010. November 2010. So as soon as I won the competition, come January of 2011, that is when I officially started doing the entertainment reports for the Chris Fade show at that time.
Representing Hollywood, yeah? Now you've gotten the position. You're still an admin on the shipping company. So how are you juggling in between the admin as a shipping company and also coming to represent? Yeah?
So the good thing about the position that at the radio station, it was a freelance, and I did not need to be at the studio.
All right.
So what they would do is I would be at my admin job, at my operations manager job in the shipping company, and the guys would just call me up every morning. So every morning they would call me up. I would do my reports over the phone, and then they would air it on air.
Wow, it did not affect your admin job back then?
Yeah, because I was literally like, it only took me like 5 minutes to do the entire report. Yeah, so and it was on the phone, so I was not going anywhere. I was literally just sitting in my office, taking up a phone and doing it, and that's how it was. That's how we ran it for like, I think.
But I'm pretty sure you used to do some more research on that.
Yeah, obviously, because it became like, you have to research, you have to prepare. So every single day, like every morning, when I got into the office, like get online, like look up the stories, prepare my reports. They would call me up. I do the reports over the phone, and that's how it was, like weekly, every day for an entire week. Yeah, so that's how it started rolling. Yeah, for like, I think it was about 6 months.
6 months doing something.
Yeah, and that was not a paid gig. It wasn't a paid gig.
It's just free of it.
Yeah, out of passion. It's like, hey, you know what? Because I was happy. You're on one of the biggest radio.
Biggest radio. At least you're getting your name to the biggest radio in Dubai.
Yeah.
Actually, not Dubai, in the UAE.
In the UAE, yeah. So I was like, you know what? I'm doing my thing. I'm having fun. It was all about having fun. So having fun, and so no, I was not getting paid, and for me that was the least of my worries. Like now, like I can do this for free, like regardless. Like
I'm enjoying my passion,
enjoying myself, and I'm somehow doing what I always wanted to do. You know what I wanted to do, to be on radio. So that's how we started off.
So 6 months, just to jump real quick. After 6 months, what happened?
So after 6 months, I had to go on vacation.
Back to Kenya now.
And for some weird reason, I don't know, like everything happens when I go on vacation. So like, if you remember, I told you about like the cyber cafe when I went on vacation, and I came back, and I came back to like,
you gotta get
there was no job. I found out that the cyber was closed. So the same thing happened this time around. So I went back home. When I came back to Dubai, and the guys called me up, and like, yo, upper management decided, you know what, they want to go in a different direction with the show, and they want to add like a different personality, a different person who is in the building, and they decided they want to add like a female voice on the show. So that's when they added Pretty Malik.
Yeah. So by then it was Chris Fade and Chad.
Yeah.
The big Rose was not in the show.
No, yeah.
So it's Chad and Chris and Pretty. No, by then Pretty was coming, but they wanted to add a female voice.
Yeah.
So that is when Pretty came in.
Yeah, that's when she came along, and then that meant like I had nothing
to contribute in the show.
To do the show, to contribute to the show. Yeah. But like, shout out to the guys. They just saw like how much passion I had, and they asked me like, do you want to learn how to do radio? I'm like, yeah. I want to learn how to do it. I want to So they're like, okay, so they just told me pretty much, just come through the studio whenever you can, when you have a free time. Just come in and like just hang around and learn how to do it. And that's how it started. So literally, what would happen was, I would do my full-time gig, my shipping company, from 8 till 6 p.m. No, 8 to 5. 8 to 5. Finish that.
You drive along.
And I would drive
from Dera to Media City.
Media City. No, there's not Media, to Studio City.
Studio City.
That's Studio City. I would drive, and I would do that every single day, back and forth. And literally, I would just go there, hang out with the guys, learn how to do like what they're doing, and it's the same way what happened when I was in the cyber cafe, where I would just come and just chill and just see and observe. Same thing. So chill in a different dimension, exactly. So sit there and just ask questions like, why are you doing this? Why are you pressing this? What does this button do? And the guys asked me like, hey, do you want to learn how to like edit stuff? Yeah, I was like, editing, like audio, like editing audio. I'm like, yeah, sure. So I learned how to edit, which led to me being a producer.
So now you're learning editing.
Yeah.
Now you started learning on how to become a producer by the studio procedure.
Yeah, and being a producer, which ended up with me getting the gig of being the producer for the Ryan Seacrest show. Ryan Seacrest is like, it's very huge. He's a big personality in Hollywood, and we syndicate his show here in Dubai. So I got the task to be the producer. So I would get audio from Ryan from the US, and I would make sure that it airs properly on air in Dubai.
Yes.
So I was heading that, and I was doing all this for free.
But then you're doing for free.
Yeah.
So I'm just curious. By this time, have you quitted the shipping?
No, I'm still doing it because that was my bread and butter. This was my passion. So I would go. There was a sing.
And it doesn't make sense. You're not getting paid.
Yeah, most people was like, oh, you're not getting paid. Like, unafanya kazi ya kanisa nini wewe? But for me, it was like, you know what? I'm pursuing something. I'm having fun. Like, regardless of whatever, even though I'm not getting paid, but I'm learning something. I'm learning a new skill. Because it's like I said, I never learned how to. I never went to uni. So this was me getting an education. This was me literally getting
directly.
Yeah, and
the biggest radio in UAE.
Exactly. So like, and it's not every day you're gonna get that chance. So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna just do as much as I can and see where it takes me. It might take me somewhere. It might not take me somewhere, but I'm cool with it. Even if it doesn't take me somewhere, at least I can say, you know what? I have this skill.
And I did this.
And I did it. Yeah.
It's a very nice skills in the CV.
Yeah. So if I can add it in my CV, and who knows where your life is going to take you down the line. So anyway, yeah, so I would do that, and I think I did that for a good year.
1 year.
1 year. So I would drive back and forth every day, do my regular job, go there, come back, and I would sit in the studio after my editing sessions, sit with the presenters, learn what they're doing. I would stay till like probably 10, 11 at night, and then drive back home and repeat it again every single. Wake up in the morning again, 8 a.m. regular job. In the evening, drive to the studio. So that was a regular thing for like a year, and I was not getting paid for it.
1 full year not getting paid, but you're doing it out of passion. This is the Ryan show, right? So how long did you do the editing, and what came after that?
Within a week.
In a week?
Yeah, within 1 week.
Commitment.
Hey, like you have to be a sponge.
Yes.
You have to be a sponge. I learned how to do it in a week. I was passionate. I wanted to learn how to go on air. I wanted to go on air.
Yeah.
And after learning what these guys were teaching me, so what I would do is I would go in the spare studio and pretend
That you're presenting.
Yeah, like I'm presenting.
Yeah.
I'll get the mic, I'll turn the mic on, and I would play with the faders.
Yes.
This fader plays the music. This does it, like, and I'll pretend like I'm presenting.
Yes.
And that's how I started like
Learning on how to come on.
how to use the board in the studio, the mixer, and everything, the board. So how to run the desk, I learned how to do that, and then back then the program director, he said, okay, since you've learned how to do this, so they asked me, like, do you want to do a weekend shift? I'm like, yeah, I want to do one.
I'm ready.
I'm ready to go. I'm ready to go. So I actually started off, and they put me in the weekend shift was at a weird timing. It was like at around 6 a.m. Back then, the weekend was Friday and Saturday. So it was like 6 a.m. in the morning till around 10 a.m. in the morning. So it was an hour where...
So 6 a.m. to 10 a.m.
Yeah, on a weekend.
On a weekend.
It was like, what you can say, like as an hours where no one is actually listening. Because people are probably sleeping at that time.
People are enjoying on Thursday.
Yeah, exactly. And the ones who probably are awake at that time were probably people who were like, have done their night shift and they're going back home or something like that, yeah. And I was like, hey,
I'm gonna do it.
Yeah, you know what, you're gonna say no way. Like I say, yes, I'm gonna do it. Yeah, it's like it's a chance for you to go on air. Now you're going on air. You're being a presenter. And I was like, yeah, I'm gonna do it. So and I did that for like a pretty like, I want to say a month.
So by then you're getting paid now.
So by then I started getting paid for doing the production work. Not on air.
Not on air.
Yeah. So like it was like a few coins here and there, you know, like here's like a thank you for doing this. Yeah. And then I did the weekend presenting for like a month.
For a month.
Without getting paid. But I guess I was good at what I was doing, and they decided, you know what, we don't have the budget, we're gonna start paying you to do the weekend shift as well. But I actually had been working for almost, probably I want to say, on that gig. So that was what, 2000, for the entire year, the entire 2011, the whole year, I was doing that.
The radio one, then the normal from 6 a.m. to 10.
So that I did that for like a month, but then like all the production work and everything that I was doing in the background, I did that for like an entire year without getting paid. But then towards the end of like 2010, I started getting paid now. But mind you, I'm still doing my regular gig.
Still doing the production?
Still doing my
normal gig, regular gig?
Yeah, regular gig at the shipping company, operations manager. And then I'm coming and I'm like doing the production, and then started doing the weekend shifts. And then towards the ending of 2011, I want to say, I started getting paid. Okay, I started getting paid for doing that. 2012 came about, and I was like, okay, I became a regular presenter on the weekends, as well as a producer for the Ryan Seacrest show. Yeah, so that's like 2012, and it was like, now 2012 was like full on now. Yeah, so it's like I'm doing my regular gig, 2012, and as well I'm doing a regular weekend shift and producing as well. Yeah.
Wow. So how did you even manage doing these three stuff?
When you have a passion for something, you don't care. You don't care how much hard work it takes, how much time it takes. You just want to pour yourself and just do it. And that's what I always tell people. Like I've told friends of mine, I have friends who've been here, who've worked at a job for like probably 3-4 months, and they decide, you know, this is not for me. Yeah, I'm quitting, I'm going back home. Even though, like I told them, dude, keep at it. You never know. Things never stay the same. Things change. Things will always change, and you always have to look out for opportunities. Yeah. So for me, this was an opportunity, and I was like, you know what? I'm not gonna give up on it. I'm just gonna go with it, and I'm gonna give 100%. So I was giving my 100% at the shipping company. At the same time, I was giving my 100% with the radio. Yeah. Production and the weekend shift. 100% on both sides. Yes. Regardless of like how tired I was, how much time it was taking out of my personal life. But then I figured there's a big picture. Look at the big picture. Yeah. Where are you going? Where do you want to go? Where do you see yourself in a year's time, in a 2 years time? And that was the drive that I had. And thinking of where I came from back home, like no university degree, no job, like sitting in a cyber cafe, like doing a cyber cafe job, and then moving towards like into a shipping job where I started off a shipping clerk. So where I came from, I was like, I don't want to go back.
Go back there.
Yeah, I don't want to go back to a place where I have nothing. Like I'm back at home, finding myself back at home where I'm just like with nothing. So that was the drive that you should know what, you need to succeed. Whatever you do, you have to succeed. There's no other option. There's no other option.
Very nice. So much powerful and touching. No matter what, you have to succeed. Now you've gotten the gig of a full radio show, and you're getting some weekend show, some bucks. Yeah. How was it, and how long did you do it?
So I did that for a good year. A good year and a few months. So that was the entire 2012. The whole year 2012. That was what I was doing, the whole year. And then come 2013, the opportunity came about.
2013.
Yeah, at the radio station, at Virgin, when they told me, hey, there's an opportunity that's come about, an opening for a full-time job at the station. Are you willing to take? Do you want to take it, or do we give it to someone else? It's a no-brainer.
From all this struggle, man, it's definitely a yes. Yeah. 2014 is the year. 2013 is the year now. So which kind of job was it?
So 2013, that was the opening was for a cover presenter. Yeah. So like a presenter. In short, it was a presenter job. So yeah. So 2013. I want to say March, around March, I tendered my resignation at the shipping company and came on board full-time at Virgin Radio as a producer.
Presenter, producer?
Yeah.
But then you were still doing the production?
Yeah, so I was still doing the production, I was still doing the Ryan Seacrest production, and I was still doing what do you call this? The weekend shifts. And I was also now covering other presenters when they were off. So if there was a presenter who was off, was on leave, then I would jump on air and like cover their shift. Yeah. So so that was 2013, around 2013, for the better part of 2013, I want to say. Towards the end of 2013, I think I had gotten so the
knowledge.
Yeah, I had the knowledge, and then the opportunity came about on the Chris Fade show.
That's end of 2013.
Towards the end of 2013, that they were looking for. They wanted to have like assistant producer for the show.
Chris Fade show.
Yeah, the morning show.
The biggest show in UAE.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
And who was available? I was available
as a producer. Man.
As a producer. So now I had to like learn new skills now.
Yes.
On the job, on the biggest breakfast show in the Gulf region, and that's how things like started happening now. So then from 2013 onwards, then I started like I was like the assistant producer on the Chris Fade show. Plus,
that's 2014.
Yeah, 2013 towards 2013, 2014. Yeah, so that's how it's like it picked up from there. Then so it was like, okay, producer, cover presenter, and a weekend presenter.
Yes.
On Virgin Radio. Yeah.
It's getting interesting. Now finally you're in Virgin Radio. You've already given your resignation letter. You're now a producer for the Chris Fade show and also cover presenter. Yeah. It's 2013, 2014. Yeah. I mean, how did it go? How was the experience by then?
It was like night and day from where I came from.
Yes.
So you mind, because like in my old job, it was more of a desk job, like sitting behind the desk 9 to 5. It's just like, you know, shipping and dealing with like containers and ships, and like it was full on. So me changing from that to getting into the media side of things, it was night and day, because this was like more fun.
Yes.
It was more laid back, more chilled, and it was just a lot of fun. It was just
doing what you're passionate about, man.
Exactly what I've always dreamt of doing, and for it coming into fruition, it was a blessing. You know, I just felt blessed that like all the hard work, all those late nights driving to the studio,
it's finally paying.
It's finally paying off, and I found myself like not only on the biggest station in the country, but also on the biggest show in the country. Yeah.
So how long did you do this?
So I want to say on the Chris Fade show, I was 2014, 2015, 16, 17, 18, 19, close to what? It's almost
20 years.
Almost 10 years.
Yes.
Almost another good 10 years. No, another good I want to say, no, not 10, probably 6-7 years. Yeah, just doing producing for the Chris Fade show. Yeah.
By any chance, is there any day that you got yourself covering any presenter by then?
Yeah. There's always like someone was going off, and I would cover them. I would cover the mid-morning show. I would cover the drive time show sometimes, and I was still doing my weekend show. Yes. Yeah, but it was just tons of fun, and so I was doing that, and then to cut the long story short, 2000. I want to say 2000. This is what 2024. So I want to say around 2020. Around 2019, 2020, I want to say. Yeah, the opportunity came about for me to now become a full-time presenter.
Around 2020.
Yeah, a full-time presenter on Virgin Radio, and that meant like I had to like take my cap off, being the producer for the Chris Fade show, and now become a full-fledged presenter on Virgin Radio, and that's where I'm at today.
Man, that's around 2020. Biggest show also in Virgin Radio. I normally listen. Actually, it happens when I'm driving to work. Is when I'm getting to it. Now, Eddie in Virgin Radio, you own your own episode. That's from 10 to 12. Yeah. You've given this opportunity now, and you've turned it into something else, man. How was it? How was the feeling?
It just felt amazing. It's a culmination of all the hard work and all the hours like I put in. Just remembering where I started from with the competition, and then into like doing like really early morning shifts where no one is listening to you. Me like jumping in the backup studio, like pretending to do a show. Like it just felt nothing short of amazing. And I remember like, because also at the back of my head I always wanted to do my parents proud. And I didn't want my father, God rest his soul, to feel like he had done me wrong by not giving me an opportunity to
take in the school of what you want.
Yeah, to go to university. So I always wanted to, like, you know what, I want to do my parents proud. And I remember to this day, when I used to call up my dad, he passed away in 2016. I remember there's a day he told me like, oh, you know what? Because obviously they couldn't listen to me back home. Yeah, and I remember like, oh, he's like, I want to listen to one of your shows, like how you sound. So back then, so I remember grabbing audio of I recorded my entire show, and I burned it on a CD.
And you sent it to him.
And I sent it to him back home. And I remember when I went back home for his funeral, sitting with my uncle, my dad's brother, and him telling me, you know what, your dad was really proud of you, of how far you went and how far what you achieved. To the point like he used to play the CD
again and again.
He used to play the CD every time, and he used to tell people, that's my son.
Listen, my son.
That's my son.
I'm presenting you.
He's a presenter. That's my son.
Imagine.
So that really motivated me, and I was like, it just stuck with me, and it just felt, you know what, like it felt good. It felt good, even though like I would have loved for him to actually like one day bring him here, bring him to the studio, and then like, you know, let him like experience the whole, like see me all live on air. That would have been amazing. But you know, God plans, and
He's watching over us. He's watching over us actually. He's watching over us. How do you introduce yourself to the show, man? If people have not come and have not listened to you Virgin Radio now, they gotta go and listen to from 10 a.m. to 12. Just give us a slight, you know, with the way you introduce your show, man.
I would tell them you have to listen. I don't want to spoil the surprise. You have to listen, tune in. Yeah, get my numbers up, man. Come on. You need to listen to me. Support your own, man. So I tell them, listen to me 10 to 12 every single weekday, Virgin Radio 104.4, the UAE's #1 hit music station. Yes, sir.
Well, man, I love it. Now, how is the experience from then, you know, the Virgin now, interaction of new people, now that you've worked with the biggest presenters like Rosie, Big Rosie, Chris Fed, Pretty Malik, you know, how is the experience of Virgin Radio?
Virgin is amazing. Like, we're all a family. We're a family, and that's why I love working with the team. Like, we're literally like a family. We gel, we share everything, and that's the best thing about the team, that we treat each other as family. We know each other's families. We go to each other's homes, and we're all supportive of each other, and that's what I love about the team. And the job is nothing short of amazing. Like, I get to wake up doing a job that I love, a passion. I get to interact with listeners, you know, get to entertain, and as a perk, I get to meet celebrities as well. So, which is amazing. If you think about it, it's like if I was back home, like if someone would have told me like, oh, one day you're gonna be hanging out with people like Akon and like Cardi B and people like that, I would have like, get out of town. They told me get out of town. But hey, it's a perk of the job, and I love my job. I love doing what I do.
Which celebrity did you meet and then you were like, man, I didn't see myself, man?
Oh, I've met so many celebrities, so many. It's like, it's countless. Yeah, like you name it. Akon, Cardi B, Enrique Iglesias, Will Smith, It's just so many. It's just so many, and each one of them has something different to offer. And what with my interactions with when I meet them, I don't only meet them as like like I'm starry-eyed. I try to learn something from them. Yeah, because they've got big platforms. They've made it big time to be these like iconic celebrities around the globe.
There's so many people who are listening to you right now, and they have a dream like you, and they are from our villages, like now from Kenya, and they have ambitions so high. I mean, they've listened to this, and they're having some hope. What can you tell any little person who has not achieved what you want to achieve, but yet he has that dream on the head? Tell them at least it's achievable.
You can't put yourself down. Never put yourself down. Always think positively, and always commit yourself. Whenever you're doing something, give it your all. If you don't commit yourself to something, if you don't give 100% to something, then you're just setting yourself up for failure. If I can make it, anybody can make it. Yeah, you just have to have the drive, you have to have the discipline and the determination. Yeah, to make it work, and the work ethic. Yeah.
Perfect, man. That's so inspirational. Kidogo, we did not touch about family. When did family come along and this mtoto anacheza football kabisa pale anataka kwenda Manchester yani? I mean, just like kidogo how family came about.
Family came about. So I got married to my beautiful wife Fatma, shout out, back in 2011. And we were blessed. We now have 3 beautiful kids. I have a daughter, my eldest Sumaya, she is 11. My son Haitham is 8 years, and my youngest Mariam is now 8 months old. Yeah.
Blessed family, man.
Thank you, man. Thank you.
Man, awesome. Man, we can't get tired of this. It's a long conversation, but at least thank you so much for the time you've created. I know you are super busy, man. We have, planned this for the longest, man, but I understand. If you're in Dubai, you can get to understand more so with the tight schedule of yours. And it's very, very, important to acknowledge this. We appreciate your time. CEO Wycliffe TV, waambie kitu moja.
CEO Wycliffe TV, subscribe. This guy is a big boss, Mr. CEO, William mwenyewe. Subscribe, support your own. He's carrying the flag high in Dubai, and support your own. That's what I say. Support your own. So subscribe. Keep in touch.
Man, the last question before we leave, man. Where did you get this accent, man? People really, I know people wanna comment here, man. Man, you're speaking nicely, eloquent, and so fast and so nicely. Where did you get this accent, man?
It's all about practicing, man. It's all about practicing. You have to practice, and kwa sababu unajua mwanzo when you come to a country like this, and an industry, I want to say like an industry, like a media industry, in a platform like where we are, you have to realize kwanza wanakutizama, or they're thinking of huyu mwanzo anatoka wapi, anakuja analeta nini, anaofa nini. Na when you see who else is you're working alongside, lazima na you have to step up your game. Yeah, you have to step up your game. And obviously, for you to cut it in the industry, you obviously have to learn how to speak the way they speak. A good example is I remember the story of Jeff Koinange. Shout out to Jeff Koinange. I remember when he said the first time he went to TV, they told him, "You're speaking on Afro English." So he had to go to school to learn how to speak in the accent. Shout out to another big presenter now, Larry Madowa.
Now he speaks actually.
You've seen how he had to learn how to speak in that because that's what it takes. That's what it takes for you to make it in that industry, in that particular. When you go back home, nobody cares about your accent, but in the industry out here, in the international scene, obviously that is one of the things that you need to learn how to invest in yourself. Yeah, it's like you say, exactly, you're investing in your craft, and that's one of the things. Yeah.
Do not want to be disappointed. The website, abudhabigp.com. Grab those tickets before it's too late, all right?
Man, if you miss this, you gotta go on Virgin Radio every single day, Monday to Friday, from 10 a.m. to 12 a.m. man.
Yeah.
AD, man, you gotta love this episode, guys. Man, that is it for today. I hope you've learned and at least you've gotten something from AD, man. It's so inspirational. We appreciate your time you've created for this.
Thank you.
Pass our regards to our family.
Yes, sir.
man, until next time, man. Peace out.
Peace, man.
Peace out.
Talk to you soon.
Yeah.